What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Coinbros. My gimbal broke, so I had to put my tripod up. But hope you guys are having a good Thursday. It is Thursday and March. Damn, it's already March 12th. Can you? It's already March. We're almost halfway done with the month. This year is going by so fast. So March 12th, we're going to talk about what's going on in the crypto market. We're going to talk about what's going on the world stage. What's going to directly affect you? What's going to directly affect the crypto market, and what is going on with the war and everything in the world, right? Because that always comes back and affects everything in the markets. And whenever the US is involved in a war, which we're very involved in, this Iran war, it's going to affect the entire world. So, and then that goes for all markets. That goes for stocks. That goes for gold, silver. That goes for, Bitcoin, obviously. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, so today, put this up here. All right, today we are at a 70K Bitcoin. Nothing's happening. We're sideways. We're not seeing any kind of big movement, which is actually pretty bullish because, anytime you have like crazy uncertainty in the world, to see Bitcoin not absolutely plummeting is a good sign. It shows strength and stability. And then all the rest of the major altcoins are just literally up or down 1%. You got Solana, ETH, Bitcoin, all up about 1% today. BNB about 0.5%, XRP down a couple percent. But what stories really matter, right? So I'm going to read this off here, and this is, I thought, the most interesting and probably the most important story of the war and how it's going to affect us. So Iran's new supreme leader, who the hell calls himself a supreme leader, bro? That's kind of gangster, to be honest, bro. They call her the supreme leader. And I've heard that's in Iran, if you're the supreme leader, it's not like what we're used to, like with the president or congressman or, like they hold the supreme leader like he's right underneath God. Like it's God, then supreme leader. That's the way that they're supposed to at least look at him as a ruler. It's probably why they call him supreme leader, right? So it's a little scary if you think about it. If they actually do believe that he's like right next to God, then, man, imagine the power you wield, right, over people. So anyway, I'm going to butcher his name, by the way, too. He says, Mojtaba Khamenei broke his silence in his first public statement since becoming supreme leader. The message read on Iranian state TV, the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed as a tool of pressure. So they're keeping that closed as a tool of pressure, man. They're using that, right? And Iran will continue attacks on the Gulf neighbors. Not good. This is the worst case scenario for oil markets. Three more oil tankers were attacked overnight. 500 oil tankers are now trapped in the Persian Gulf. And it says the IEA called this the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. That's crazy. Oil spiked above $100 a barrel today before dipping back down. And Iran said, this is probably the scariest part, is Iran said that they are prepared for the next 6 months of intense war. Now, people can say a lot of things, right? And, a lot of times there's things said that are scare tactics. But, at the end of the day, if they're willing to, go to absolute war for 6 months with a lot of the world and the US, which is not very many people will do that, it's kind of scary, right? And what does that do to the markets? It's just more uncertainty for the next 6 months. But, we'll see what happens in the next month, right? Like a lot of things are said, especially when wars just start. And, but you do have to be cautious, right? Like whenever you have things like this happening in the world, there's always going to be uncertainty. You have things like oil prices rising, and it's without a doubt going to go higher. If you're going on, I see it firsthand because I'm out here in Las Vegas, and we're in the desert, so every time there's a spring break or something, everybody wants to leave. Everybody wants to go somewhere else, go to the beach. The weather's beautiful. And like the cost of gas is like $5 a gallon right now. If you had a family of 6, you need a big truck or 2 cars. That changes your whole dynamic depending on how much money you got or what your income is. Everyone I've talked to is like, I'm not going anywhere this spring break. We're just staying right here. We're staying home, so there's no travel. And like I said, it directly affects you, and that's just now, right? Let's say the oil prices go up to $6-7 a gallon. Just getting back and forth from work for a lot of people, that becomes a task, right? And it becomes another, it's just another thing you got to worry about financially, right? And not everybody's equipped to handle that kind of that kind of like new burden just for gas. So it does affect people. And then obviously the markets are going to be affected, right? So just uncertainty period in any market. It's like you never know which way to go. And one of the things that I was reading about is it's saying like Bitcoin's showing a lot of strength around the 70K range, but that's not a buy signal, right? It's just showing strength, and it doesn't mean, oh, this is acting really strong, I want to buy a bunch more. I don't think it's ever bad to buy Bitcoin and hold it, but if you're trying to trade it, it's one of those things where it's like, it might be smart to let things play out a bit and see what direction we're going to head for a little while. And it could go either way, right? Like there's two ways to look at it. Anytime there's war and there's uncertainty, people need things like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually made for scenarios like this, where governments are fighting each other, and the people don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going on. There's a war on a country. Your bank doesn't let you leave. They don't let you take your money out and leave. The beauty is you can always leave if you have your own money, right? If you control your wealth. So that's one way to look at it. And the other way to look at it is markets are going to be terrified. Oil prices are going up. People, usually when there's panic, they just want to hodl their money, or they want to get into dollars. And, so it could go either way. But at the end of the day, if you're just a holder, someone that buys and holds, I don't think it's ever bad to buy more Bitcoin. And that's not financial advice. We'll talk about some more stories. War costs mounting, and 140 U.S. troops were wounded. Never good when U.S. troops start getting hurt or killed, right? Because, people can love us or hate us, but we are a very powerful military. We spend a lot of money on military, and, probably not the best move to be killing U.S. soldiers. So, and there's a lot of talks about more boots being sent there, boots on the ground, which is always bad because people are going to, there's always casualties. And war is never good no matter what, right? So if you're in the military, you're watching this, or you have anyone there, shout out to you guys. Much respect. Foundry, here's some just straight crypto news. Foundry launching institutional Zcash mining pool in April. Now, one thing that's like super under the radar, and has been, not for everybody, but for most people this cycle, is privacy coins. Things like Zcash. And I think with everything that's happening in the world, with war and governments, and it's almost like right in plain sight that privacy coins are going to have a major run up, and privacy coins are going to be maybe the next wave heading into the bull run of tokens that are going to really, really do well. And I'm reading here, it says privacy coins have been quietly outperforming. 80% of privacy coins within $100 million market cap are in the green in 2026. Not very many coins can say that, right? There's not very many coins that can say they're in the green in 2026. Seems to be all privacy coins. No one's really talking about it too much. I mean, I'm hearing a bit about it. Zcash did pretty well towards the end of the cycle. And I'm going to start looking into some plays in the privacy coin sector. And I think every cycle, there's always something new that comes and it kind of takes over the industry, and all the attention goes to. Maybe it's going to be something that has to do with privacy coins, right? It could be some iteration of meme coins or something. Who knows, right? But it could, I don't know. We'll see. It could be something to do with privacy coins, right? Just keep an eye out. It's always stuff like that you want to catch first and see coming. So privacy coins are killing it. Keep an eye out for that. And let's end this thing off. I think we're about 10 minutes already. So basically, the oil war macro update. Iran's new supreme leader is saying the strait is going to stay closed. So they're not budging, right? Not good. And cargo ships are being hit. Surrounding countries are being affected, and they are attacking surrounding countries. So it's getting pretty messy out there. Gas prices still climbing. Trump downplays soaring oil prices. I mean, what are you going to do? That's what presidents do, right? They always downplay what's going on. And the closing line is basically just, right now is a good time to just kind of pay attention to what's going on, right? And really pick and choose your moments on what you want to do, because you got to be careful either way, right? Whenever the world's kind of up in the air, and this could be over in a month, right? Like we could resolve things a lot quicker than we think. It could also, take a lot longer than we think, but let's always hope for the best. But you don't ever want to plan for, you always want to plan for the worst, hope for the best, right? So keep an eye on stuff, and we'll be here every day to give you guys the rundown. I'm getting pretty, interested in everything that's going on. So we'll probably be talking a lot about how the war is affecting, crypto, and it's the biggest news there is in the world right now. So, stay up on it. Much love, you guys. Be nice to each other. We're going to do a live stream tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we are going to maybe do some live trading if the market's good, some live meme coining if the market's good, because we want to win some money, right? You don't play when you can't win. So much love, guys. Like, subscribe. Peace.